What is the best way to study for the ACT exam? Well, today I'm going to answer that question. Kind of. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to 5 Academy, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest do's and don'ts, mistakes, and things that you should avoid doing when you're studying for the ACT exam. These are mistakes that I have personally made and suffered from myself, and I've learned the hard way how I should not do these things and why I should not do these things, and the things that I should do instead to maximize my studying and improvement on the ACT exam. So I'm going to say now, it's imperative that you watch the entire video and make sure you understand all the things that you should not be doing when studying for the ACT, because it will come back to bite you later on, as it did for me. And one thing that I want to start introducing in these videos is the 5 Academy takeaway of the day, which is basically the main thing, the main skill, concept, or advice that you should remember from this video. There are 4 tips that I want to share with you today, and they're kind of different compared to what you'd usually get out of an ACT do's and don'ts lesson. So let's get started without further ado. The first thing that you should not be doing when you're studying for the ACT is avoiding group study sessions. Group study sessions are the best thing when it comes to trying to learn ACT content. Not really practicing, because when you're practicing, you're just taking practice tests. That's your own thing. But when you're trying to learn concepts and go over your practice exams and try to find areas to improve, that can be really, really helpful. What you can do in group study sessions that you can't do when you're alone is you can bounce ideas off of one another. You can bounce strategies off of one another, skill knowledge, things like that. And you can improve and learn about the ACT exam together with your friends or with your peers, classmates, even with your teachers. This exercise is something that I never did, but once I started doing it and learning from my friends of the things that they were doing, the strategies they were using, how they were approaching the sections that I found very, very difficult, my score started to improve a lot. Most of the strategies that I ended up using on the ACT exam came from other people. That's really the way it works. It's either from the internet, but a big part of it is from my friends, my peers, my classmates who had a hard time with the ACT exam but started to find the improvement that they were looking for. So remember, use group study sessions. The second thing that you should not be doing when you're studying for the ACT is just reading books. When I started studying for the ACT, I had a couple of these no-name books that I had never heard of, but that were given to me for free, and I thought, maybe I'll just read these books, learn a little bit about the exam, and I'll have a 35. But that's not the way it works. You have to really put in more work and practice. That's where your main improvement is going to come from. Now, I know that there are a lot of really good ACT books out there, and I'm going to make another video that discusses these books and which ones you should be buying, but most ACT prep books either lack good practice content or they lack good strategies. And there's a very select few books, a very small handful of them, that have very good information that is worth that $30, $40 price. One book that I would always recommend for just general prep is the official ACT prep guide, because it is made by the real ACT authors. It is a bit pricey, but it has official content, official practice exams, and you get a lot of background knowledge about the skills tested on the ACT exam. So that's what I would recommend. But other than that, don't just focus on reading books. Your books aren't really going to help you that much. This is the one book that you should be reading. These books right here, practice exams, these are the books that are your best friends. Not so much the, strategy books and things like that. And another thing about books, they are most helpful for students scoring in the lower 20s or even the higher 20s range. If you're already in the 30s and you're looking to get up to a 35 or a 36, or even to just in the 33 plus range, books are usually not going to be helpful, except for one that I have heard of. And again, I'm going to make a video about this very soon that discusses this. And if someone gives you ACT prep books for free, just don't read them, because they're probably garbage. That's a mistake that I made. Alright, we have 2 more mistakes left, and the last one is the one that I made the most out of all of these. So the third one is cramming the night before. Look, there is nothing wrong with studying for the ACT exam, doing a bit of review, maybe going over your practice test the night before. I'd actually recommend doing that. That's something that I did. But cramming the night before, trying to take 1 or more practice exams, or I should say just more than 1 practice exam, and spending hours and hours cramming, that's just going to exhaust you, and you're not going to feel your best the next day for the test. So do not cram for the ACT. It is good to have a study session. Going above and beyond what you usually do for ACT prep, or studying more than you have ever done for the ACT, is not going to help you at all. The night before the ACT, have a moderate, light study session where you go over concepts, maybe do a little bit of practice in any section that you're especially weak in, and leave it at that. There's nothing really more than that you should be doing, because like I said, you're going to exhaust yourself. The last thing that you absolutely should not be doing when it comes to ACT prep is wasting practice exams. Do not keep taking practice exams just in the hopes of improving through practice. You're not going to improve just by practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Now that can give you maybe 1 or 2 point improvement just because you're getting more experience with the test, but the real improvement, the real ACT score improvement of 5 or more points comes from understanding your weaknesses, going over those questions that you get wrong and seeing why you got them wrong, trying to learn the skill from those questions, going over the correct answers and trying to understand why those correct answers are correct as opposed to the wrong ones. That's what gives you the best understanding of the skills and the question types that you will see again and again on every ACT exam. So that's what you need to be doing, not just practicing, but going over your exams, going over those questions that you get wrong, to seeing why did I get this question wrong? Why don't I know this skill? And what can I do to learn that skill? In addition, when you're practicing, try to simulate the test environment as much as possible. Focus on the exam, make sure it's quiet, make sure you don't have distractions like music or pets or food, things that you don't have in the actual test. Keep all that away, throw it out. You should be in a quiet room or in a quiet space where you can focus and just take the test to the best of your ability. Again, do not just burn through tests, don't just take multiple tests. You shouldn't be taking more than one a day, one full practice exam a day, because if you are, that's again wasting. You're not spending enough time looking at your incorrect answers. And also make sure that you're using the actual ACT timing on each exam you take. So what is our 5 Academy takeaway of the day? Well, it has to do with the mistake that students, including myself, have made the most and continue to make the most, and that is abusing practice exams. Look, your practice exams are your best friend, so make sure that you practice to the best of your ability and that you analyze your practice exams to the absolute best of your ability and try to learn as much as you can from your mistakes, because that learning process of going through your practice exams and analyzing them, seeing why you got certain questions wrong and how you can get them right instead, is going to help you way more than just taking practice exams and learning through that. Those are the main things that you should not be doing, and some more tips that you should be doing when it comes to ACT prep and taking the ACT exam. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Be sure to comment, subscribe, and like, and leave any questions that you have in the description below, because that's where you put your questions. Also, I did mention practice exams. If you need official ACT practice exams, there are 6 linked in the description below, where you also leave your comments, like I said. And apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot from it. Be sure to stick around for our videos that are coming in the next few days and weeks. And apart from that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.